What's going on, guys? It is Spoot with Fort Misery Gaming again, and we are here today with a pre-guide to re-rolling for Square Enix's upcoming game, Sinoalice. It is coming up on their third year anniversary in Japan, and we are getting it on July 1st, unless they have changed the date again, which is very possible as it was supposed to be a global release last year. Re-rolling procedure in this one is standard. In iOS, you got to delete the game and re-download the game. In Android, you can go into your app data and clear data. It's the same thing for pretty much every game. So, we'll go over a little bit of the game while the re-rolling is going on, just so you understand. Those of you that are coming in expecting tier lists, get that out of your head. It isn't that kind of gacha. It does not work that way. This just isn't that game. You have jobs that are broken into two subtypes, which are DPS and support. And you have weapons, so all DPSs can use all DPS weapons, all supports can use all support weapons, but you can't use both. So, well, that's an animation. If you break the rope, you get a guaranteed job. So the gacha is two things technically. You're unlocking weapons, which some unlock new jobs for certain characters, as you'll see in, I think it's the next one. Nope, I was wrong. There she is. So, for example, that is a class. That is a brand new job for that character. What this does is it unlocks a specific grid for that job, as well as stats. There is no winner here. All base characters have the exact same stats up to job level 10. You get more stats by unlocking more jobs, you get more weapons, you get more character rank ups, and you limit break. There is no one character to rule them all, and it is, and this is very important, so air horn, ha ha ha! Unless you are going to spend a ridiculous amount of money on this game, you are never going to be able to maximize more than one or two jobs. So pick one of the many things that you can do and try to figure that. Free-to-play players, it is recommended you either play Cleric, quote-unquote, which is the healer, or you pick a DPS and you sub a support class. It only really matters in Coliseum, which is the PvP version, because you can have 9 support and 6 DPS in any combination of those two numbers. But there are limitations on that. Obviously, if you go into a raid with 9 healers and not 4 healers, 2 debuffers, 2 buffers, and 1, AoE damage guy for a support unit, you're not going to do very well. And PvP in this game is prohibitively expensive, mostly because you're going to want to pick a class and you're going to pick it right. You'll notice that I am restarting pretty much every time. This is just to show you how fast the re-rolling is. On an emulator, I got it down to about 3-ish minutes per run when I was really hammering it down, but we're going to go through probably 6 or 7 or 8 total before we get through the video. So, pick a job that you think you like. There are several. Let's see. So you have Breaker, which is swords, blades. They are physical single attack targets. Crushers or hammers. They are physical attack multi-target. Paladins use pole arms, so long-bladed weapons, stuff like that. Magical attack multi-target. And gunners use bows, guns, needle guns, all sorts of crazy looking stuff. There's a gunner right there. So that is Alice's gun, which is cool. So all of these characters are fairy tale based, so you'll notice a lot of design choices inside of each character. Like the bunny ears on Alice, like the little card references on some of them. There's a creepy doll, another gun, and a spear. That's a pole arm. And then you get gunners who are magical single target. So all of these matter because there are two different kinds of defenses, but you don't have to focus on as many stats if you're playing DPS. On support, you have Cleric, which maxes out staves. You heal allies' HP or health. You have Minstrel, which is elements, or Bard. It may be in global. We're unsure yet. You buff your ally stats. Sorcerers use books. You debuff enemy stats. And mages use orbs or something akin to that, where you are using magical multi-target attacks. They have different effects depending on which job you unlock. So to reiterate, you're not going to be able to play every class because it's ridiculously expensive. The one thing I'm not showing you is that immediately after the reroll, you talk to the little creepy dolls and you sign a contract. Once you sign the contract, you're hosed because unless you want to create a new account and do it from scratch, like doing it on an emulator is pretty easy because you can just goof it. But doing it on your phone it takes a week, I believe, to get a permanent account removal. So be careful. Now here are jobs. Once you unlock each character, they allow you to play that character in that job. That gun or sword is also usable by anybody else that can use them. Each job carries certain boosts when they hit a certain level, so they get better at certain things. There are job boosts and global boosts. Provide benefits to characters by a certain amount when using their specialty weapon, and then global boosts provide stats to everyone. So you can unlock a job that gives every character that has access to this... Oh, we yanked the rope. That's a guaranteed job. You can unlock a job that has everybody can use, and every character will get those stats. So sometimes it's good to, like, look at some of the job boards and go, okay, well, I want a little bit extra. Whoop, there's Aladdin. He's not on release, but that's a support class. That is a book or a tome. God, the design in this game is so sick. So the trick this is you want to roll as many jobs as possible to kind of have something to play with, because you'll get proficiency XP just playing as them. You also get jobs story levels for different parts for weapons. There's a lot that goes into this because you can limit break every single one of these. If you pull the same weapon 5 times, you can make it stronger, I believe up to 4. You want 2 jobs to start. It doesn't really matter what job. Like, take a look at them, see what you like. If you want to be a DPS, roll a DPS. If you want to be a support, roll a support. Just reroll and get at least 2 jobs. And as you've seen, like you've seen the weapon rerolls and the gotchas that are just weapons, and you've also seen the rerolls that are, you know, just jobs. Like when the character shows up and you get new art, you have unlocked the new job for that character. And you have access to all the characters at the start, and on release with new characters, you get their base. So don't feel like you're gonna miss out. Like on the left side is Dorothy and 4 of her jobs. I think it's Minstrel, Polearm, Crusher. So it's Minstrel, Paladin, Crusher, and Cleric with the needle gun. You're not going to get everything you want in this game. It is very expensive to try. So if you're wailing out, you do you, boo-boo. But if you're trying to play free-to-play, I will go ahead and give you the sad news that it is going to take you a while to actually sit down and do it. You're probably only ever going to be really, really good at 1 or 2 jobs because the resources needed to do more than that are ridiculously prohibitive. Oh, we got Alice's gun again. That's funny. We got that creepy little voodoo doll. We got Mermaid. She's also not in. You'll also notice that the females in this game have certain assets that are very collectible, which is, you know, a thing. Oh, I only got 2. That sucks. I was hoping for another job. But so that would be a keeper. We have 2 DPS weapons that are completely different. And then we have a couple of A and S rank regular weapons. Be patient. There are also something called nightmares, which are the effective summons in this game. So keep an eye out for those. Those are important because they are in the gotchas. They are incredibly rare. I mean, like, less than a percentage point rare. Like, in the 38 rerolls I've done in Sinoalice just practicing, I have not seen one once. In the beginning, there are 3. It is Lindworm, Let me actually grab them so everybody knows the names specifically. I don't want the game press. There we go. There's the database. You can go to the Sinoalice database too to look at sort of the Japanese stats and names, which I will leave in the comments so you can kind of look at something. So there is Fire Dog Oogaloo. There is the Freeze Golem. And then there is Lindworm. So you have one for ice, one for wind, and one for fire. Or one for water, excuse me, not ice. This uses the old triangle system, Fire Emblem, Rock, Paper, Scissors, whatever you want to call it. So fire is good against wind, is good against water, or is good against fire. So it's the triad, that's what it does. Who we get? Oh, it's Snow White. Snow White's got some cool-ass designs. They're always kind of creepy, though, because they're covered in blood, which is pretty wild. Oh, we got double. Oh, we got, I believe that is Breaker. That's the Great Axe for Alice. So pretty decent, not too bad. It's 2 jobs, so I got a support and a regular one. A lot of these weapons you may not see in Global just because they may not be out, so we don't know. But nightmares are something that you want to pay attention to because they are essentially giant stat sticks, and if they match the element that you're going for, you may get a little bonus, and if they match the specialty weapon you're going for, you may get a little bit more bonus, and those are split into 2 types. So you have global bonuses, which are your story bonuses, and then you have Coliseum bonuses, which affect your entire team in PvP. So keep those in mind. Nightmares are probably what you want to reroll for, but with the rates on them being almost impossible to attain, I don't want to tell you to be like, I'm not going to tell you like if you don't get one you can't play the game. The really great thing about this game is it doesn't matter what you roll, you're gonna be able to play the game. They have paid gotchas later, or they have paid jobs later where you can spend $6, get a job. They have paid nightmares later where you can spend $15, $20, get a job. The rates may change from Japanese monies to American monies, so don't quote me on those. Those are just sort of vague prices I'm giving you to give you an idea. Just keep it in mind. Like, this is supposed to be a really fun and easy to play story game, and then the PvP is supposed to be very challenging. I did a video with Zant that you guys should see later. He was the OG information guy for a lot of the YouTube people. He was also the guy who runs the Sinoalice Discord for Square. I don't know if they are officially sponsored. I do not believe so, but he's the go-to guy for numbers. I'm hoping to actually get a... Oh, it's only 2? Ugh, dookie. Oh, that's a cool job. I don't even know who that is. That's one of the newer characters. She's not on the base ones, but she got spirit guns. That's pretty wild. That looks like a water gun. And a coffin. We have a coffin, in case anybody was curious. And I got a shit ton of hammers, so, you know, I guess it's time. So, those of you that came in here expecting a tier list, I'm sorry. The game just doesn't work like that. You can start with whatever you want and do perfectly well. Unless you are going to be spending a little bit of money, you're going to get into PvP and do okay at best. Probably only okay, because PvP is straight whale territory. It is, the more you spend on the game, the more you have unlocked, the more money you dump in, the bigger your stat sticks are. So just keep it in mind, because don't go crazy on rerolls. Like, chase your waifu. Look at the characters, figure out who you like, and if you see something you really, really like, grab it. Just stick with it. Like, sure, if you wanted to start with Alice's cleric or Princess Kaguya's cleric, yeah, you'd be off to a pretty good start. They're decent stat sticks, and they're good classes and jobs to unlock. But you could go with Cinderella's gunner, or you could go with Pinocchio's bard, or you could go with literally anything. Don't dictate, there is no meta. I'm going to say that a lot over the course of these games. There is no specific meta, so don't try to adhere yourself to it. Especially because you can play a support and beat 90% of the story on your own. And the arena is built around everybody having different classes, because all of your story modes are... Oop, Come on. Oh, broke it. Got one. 3's not bad. Like, don't feel like you can... Oh, hey, I got a Bard Alice, which is not in basic, but God, those little rabbit tattoos are cool as all hell. Also, you know, collectible assets. Ah, Princess Kuyu, Cleric. See, that's a good one. If you wanted to play support and you wanted to heal, that's a pretty decent one. And then I got a stick. I got a stick! So, please keep that in mind about the tier lists. They don't exist. Like, people will tell you, pick X, pick Y, and those people are most likely wrong. Everybody I've ever talked to that has played the game in Japan just says, chase something you want to play, reroll until you think you get a class that you really like. If you have access to an emulator, run a couple of fake accounts through, test out some of the classes. Like, the gameplay isn't crazy in depth, so just sort of figure out if you want to be a helper or if you want to be a herder. If you want to be on DPS, play around with it, see if you like it. I like Gunner and I like Breaker. I'm not as big a fan of the Blade class or the Paladin class. They don't really wet my whistle. And then in support, I like all of them. I will play pretty much any support that rolls my way. Like, I really like the buffers and the debuffers because they have a pretty active... they are pretty active during PvP, and healers are active literally the entire time. So don't concern yourself with the meta. You can talk to Tectone, you can talk to Zant all you want, you can go into the Discord, and they will tell you the exact same thing. There exists meta as a general idea that there are certain things that have more stats on them, but up until you start unlocking and maxing out these weapons, one after the other, after the other, after the other, it doesn't matter. Oh, we broke it. Only 2? Ugh, Dookie. Dookie butter. Hopefully get something cool at least. I got a flute! And I got Alice's gun again. Well, apparently that's very exciting for me to get. And then I got a bunch of sticks. So, wrapping that up for the most part, just play the game. Like, have fun. Like, if you want to reroll for something and the nightmares are in the pool, do run for Oogaloo, Freeze, Golem, or Lindworm. Otherwise, don't worry about it that much. It's not quite that important. Just find something you like playing and playing it. This is closer to an MMO in a raid style than it is Dokkan Battle or Epic 7 or even 7 Deadly Sins. You're not chasing the power creep of the week. This is closer to Fate. Grand Order with a slice of, you know, World of Warcraft in it. You're chasing a waifu that fits your job. You have a specialized job in your clan, which we'll get into in a different video. And we go in depth in the video I do with Zant. So keep an eye out for that. That's coming out later in the week. But, like, look at the art. Figure out who you like. All of the art in this game is ridiculously cool. It's a Yoko Taro game. It's produced by Square Enix. So, like, we get the Nier Automata banner off the rip. It's very possible we will get a free 2B because they did that in Japan because the servers exploded for 2 weeks. We'll also, I think you can pull 9s, A2, and Emil. We might get Emil. I don't 100% know on that one. And then we've got, you know, a Drakengard 3 crossover later in the time. Got a crossbow. I got a stick with blade on it. I got 3 little pigs. Those are cool. They're not out yet in global either, but they're triplets, so it's always kind of funny. All of their weapons are like food themed, so it's kind of weird. Like, that's a pepper shaker with a knife on it, or 2 knives on it, I guess. So that's kind of funny. Man, I was really hoping to get a special animation. So sometimes the dolls get into a fight, and the doll on the right, like, either light speed kicks a book into the other one and destroys him, she karate chops the shit out of him, or she Shun Goku Satsus him, like Akuma special move, so the screen goes black and she beats the bejesus out of him. So I'm gonna let you guys go after this one, just so you know, but that's it. There's not a meta, there's not a tier list. I'm not gonna tell you what to pull. I just wanted to show you how fast it is to reroll and kind of tell you about the system itself. So you're free. You can do whatever you want in this game, and if you don't like it, you restart it and you do it again. You don't have to spend money. If you want to be PvP competitive, you'll spend money. But if you want to play casually and you just want to experience the game, just do that. Like, there's no reason not to. It's free real estate, quite literally. All right, come on. This will be the last one. I'm hoping we get an animation. I'm really sad because I saw the Shungo Kusatsu like a lot when I was first re-rolling, and I haven't seen it since. And people think I'm crazy when I describe it. No guaranteed. Got books. Oh, she gonna do it! Boom! We did it. We got it. So he knocks one of the common books off the top of the pile, and you get another job usually. Yeah, we got Aladdin with a big old mace. Pretty sweet. Got Cinderella. No, that's Snow White. Excuse me. Got Snow White with a bouquet. We got, oh shit, we got 3. Hey, we got another the 3 Little Pigs. We just got 3 jobs. That's actually pretty good for a starter roll. It's actually really good for a starter roll. I might keep this. All right, so that's it. You've seen everything about the reroll. Immediately after this, you go to where you can sign your name, so you type your name in, and once you do that, the account's locked, so you have to get another account to reroll again. So if you have a couple of fake Gmails that you're not attached to, give those a try first, and then when you're comfortable and you sort of know what you want to reroll for, go for it. And that is it from me. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, leave me a subscribe. Tell me who you're excited for Sinoalice. See what's going on. And just like everything else, this is Fort Misery signing out, and don't get miserable.